Yes, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to another edition of Quiz Cal Ask Me Anything. This is a show where I run it for about half an hour, and you can ask me anything you want to ask me, and I'll answer. Doesn't have to be about sport. Doesn't have to be about football. MMA can literally be about anything you want it to be. So, first and foremost, I'm going to ask you guys to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. What a fantastic comment to start the show as well. Big up Cal, beard game on point. You know what, Liam? You're right. I could do the humble stuff, but you're right. The beard game is on point. And I know he's in the comments, so big up man like Matt, but I told him I was coming for the crown when it comes to the beard thing, and he laughed at me. And now look, it's only going to be a matter of time before I get endorsement deals for the beard. And when I do, I'm not going to forget anyone. I'm not going to forget anyone. I'm going to make sure everyone eats well off this beard deal that I'm going to get. But as you can see, I told everyone what I was working with, and I told everyone it was a matter of time. And now look at me. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Big up to Martin. Cal, you got to watch the Diddy doc. It's fire and dark. I've heard it's a bit crazy. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to tune into that. Shout out to Martin again. It says, who's coming out of the room? Prime Iron Mike Tyson on coke or John Jones on coke? Ooh, John Jones. John Jones beat DC when he was on the stuff. Yeah, and that was prime DC as well. I'm talking that's light heavyweight DC, kind of like that was slim DC who just that was him, and he beat DC at his best. So yeah, I'm gonna go prime John Jones. Although if Mike Tyson catches him, it's a long day. Big up to man like Matt. Go subscribe to the Matt One Show as well, please, people. A9 says, "Big up, Cal. When can you loan you to Arsenal so they can start losing because of the curse? Wow, is this what we're doing? This is what we're doing. At the end of 2025, we're still running the narrative, guys. I got us the players we wanted in the summer. I got us the players we wanted. It's not my fault that the manager's doing a madness. It's not my fault. It just simply isn't my fault, guys. I can't take blame for this one." Liam says, had my stocks in Cal's beard for this is what I'm saying. Like, Liam, you're gonna be set for life when this beard promotion deal comes in. You're gonna be set for life. Others who have doubted me, I'm not too sure, but you're gonna be set for life. Wow, Martin says, beard game moving like Diddy in prison, aged and old. Okay. Mantis says, ask you anything. How are you doing outside the football? Because we're all in the mud, but I know you put a lot of time into this. Yeah, I'm all right outside football, to be fair. Like, obviously, you see me, Matt, and Drift, how much work we put into this, and yeah, we're busy guys and always trying to improve the content that we put out and all that stuff. So yeah, it's busy, but can't complain too much. Obviously got UFC 323 this weekend, so committing a bit of time to that as well. Obviously got family and friends and all that stuff, so it just is what it is, brother. Like, obviously I'd love for Liverpool to be winning right now, because I remember at the beginning of the season, like, we were just buzzing. Like, Liverpool won 5 out of 5 in the league, one in the Carabao, one in the Champions League, and things were just looking good, man. And we're all having a laugh and stream and joking about in the comment section, and it's just changed. It's become toxic, but it's understandable because we're all frustrated and annoyed, and we want Liverpool's fortunes to turn around, and you know, we want that to happen sooner rather than later. So yeah, I hear it. Big up Martin says, how could you not have Messi over R9 in talent, and why? Oh, all right. In terms of just pure talent, I don't think there's been a better footballer that I've seen with my eyes than R9. Now, I know those of you who have watched him would say potentially Pele or even Maradona, and I can't argue those facts because I never got to watch them live. I never really got to watch them outside of tapes, and it's very easy. Look, we see it all the time with YouTube compilations. Very easy to put a YouTube compilation and make someone look fantastic. I'm not saying that was what's happened with Maradona and Pele, but obviously any videos about them that's been put out is going to look fantastic. It's going to show their best moments. I never got to watch them on a weekly basis. Granted, I never really got to watch R9 on a weekly basis, but I got to watch R9 more than I would have ever got to watch Pele and Maradona. And before the injuries, and even after the injuries, you look at his dribbling, his first touch, his poise, his composure in front of goal, his shooting with both feet. Like, he just, from an attacking standpoint, he had everything. And Messi, here's the thing with Messi. Everyone acts like Messi was just born with all the gifts of football. He was obviously born with God-given talent. Don't get me wrong. But everyone has this notion that it was just R9 it was CR7 that worked really hard and Messi was just the talented one. Messi worked just as hard as Ronaldo. I'm convinced of it. He worked just as hard. He just didn't put out as much stuff about him working hard. But when you hear the stories about his teammates speaking about him, he was the first one in to train. I think Thierry Henry said it. He said he got to training early and Messi had already been there and had already started training. Messi practiced free kicks. Like, he did everything. So the work ethic is all there from Messi, just as it is for CR7. What I will say is R9 didn't have that work ethic. Like, I think he'll tell you that. Ronaldinho is another one like that. It didn't have the work ethic, but they just had that natural talent. And they could just manipulate a football like we haven't seen before, probably will never see again. So for me, R9 is the most talented, but Messi for me is the greatest attacking player of all time. Big up to yourself, John Conway. Hope you and the family are well. The Matt One Show, is Liam Delap better than Ekatike? I'll say this, as an out-and-out striker, I think Liam Delap is a better striker than Ekatike, but Ekatike is a better footballer. And I know that's going to go down badly. Adam says, big up Cal, just left the UK working on a farm in Canada. England is F, by the way. That's not a bid, but wow. Cool. Vel says, Cal, you're 45 years old. If you're born 7 years ago, how old would you be? I'd be 7. Big up to Josh says, morning Cal, hope you're well. Should Ilya be stripped of the belt? No, I don't think he should be. I don't think he should be stripped. I only think he should be stripped of the belt if you don't defend for a year, or if you have no intention of defending at all. He has an intention. I just think he's taking a bit of time away. Ash says Mackenzie Dern or Tracy Cortez. As a fighter, Mackenzie Dern is the world champion at the moment. So the answer to that question is Mackenzie Dern. I see what you're trying to do there, Ash. Liam says, I'll be real. I'm lucky the UFC and the darts is back because footy is peak at the moment. Do you know what? Darts is one sport I've never really gotten into. I've flicked over the channels and seen it on, and I've seen how sick the atmosphere is and all that. I just never got into it. I know how difficult it is because I've obviously tried playing darts and it looks easy on the TV, but it's anything but. It's just one sport I've never really got into. All right, big up Marcel. It's been a while, bro. Hope you're well. Bless up, Cal. Question: give up football or watching UFC forever? Which one? I'd probably be watching UFC. I can't give up football. Football's my first love. I love UFC. I love boxing, but football's my first love. I couldn't give up football. Big up, man, like Matt again. Martin, Cal, I don't want to spoil, but episode 1 and 2 was insane. 3 and 4, whole nother level of insane. Diddy Doc for your information. I'm gonna tune in. My brother's been telling me about it as well, saying it's a bit crazy. Liam says, end of 2026, who do you think is champ at 155? Ooh, it depends if Ilya stays at 155 or tries to go up to 170, which I don't think would be a wise move for him. But if he does try and move up to 170, then Arman. If he doesn't, it's either him or Arman. No one else in that division's got anything for Ilya and Arman Sarukin, in my opinion. I think Holloway is a dark horse in the division. I genuinely do. But because he's lost to Ilya already, I think people write off Max. In that fight with Ilya Topuria, he gave Ilya some hell before Ilya caught him and finished him. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Ilya. Ilya's fantastic. But I wouldn't sleep on Max either. The only problem with Max is because he gets hit a lot, you could understand why people would say Ilya would beat him again because Ilya hits so hard and accurately. But Max is a dark horse in that division. Outside of that, there's no one. It's Ilya and Arman, which is why that fight should have been made. I don't think Paddy will win it. I do think he'll beat Gaethje, though. I think Paddy will beat Gaethje and be interim, but I don't think he'll beat Ilya or Arman. A9 says, damn, Cal, what happened to you because you aged 10 years in 2 weeks? No haircut and watching Liverpool do that to you, A9. No haircut and watching Liverpool age you 10 years in 2 weeks. Liam says, if Neymar had Ronaldo's work ethic, then it would have been over. Yeah, I agree with that. I still don't know if Neymar would have been better than Messi. I don't know if he'd have been better than Messi. But Neymar 100% would have been on the Mount Rushmore of football. Sammy, big up yourself, Sammy. Cal, they forget Messi's a playmaker. Messi just everything is an attacker. Just everything is an attacker. Like, there's nothing he couldn't do. Free kicks. The only area you'd say he had of weakness was maybe heading because he wasn't the tallest. But even still, when he did head of the ball, he'd usually go in as well. Gargoyle says, World Cup draw, any predictions? I wouldn't be surprised to see Argentina and England in a group together. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I'm looking forward to that World Cup draw, though. And I think the World Cup should be very, very good. And England have got a really, really good chance, man. Really good chance of winning it, in my opinion, especially with Tuchel as manager. Not a bad one. Says, how many percentage of Indian people watch Coppish, bro? Oh, do you know what? I don't know off the top of my head, actually. I can actually let me see if I can have a look at that. Interesting question. Let me see if I can find that out for you. Let's have a look. I think we do have a good audience in India. Audience. It actually doesn't give. 2.1%. 2.1% as of today. That's our audience size in India. Are you asking because you're from India or just a query? Because if you are, then feel free to share Coppish in India. That would be really appreciated. Cal just realized, is Stephen Robbie not their actual real name? No, it's not. Stephen Robbie and Alonso, they're not their actual names. They're names that I've given to my 2 sons and daughter. So literally all the children in my family, they all pretty much have nicknames. And they're all associated with Liverpool players. So my niece is called Jamie after Jamie Carragher. Obviously, that hasn't aged well, but she's always been known as Jamie, so she's called Jamie. My nephew I call Paul. That's a reference for something else, though. My youngest nephew I call Kenny, obviously after Dalglish. One of my little nieces I call Diogo. Rest in peace to Jota. Then I've got Calamina, which is a play on word on baby Callum. Then who else have I got? Who else is there? Basically all the kids in the family I've given nicknames to. Are their parents happy about it? No, but at this stage it's too late now. This happened now. Big up to Vel again, says, do you think modern day attacking midfielders get overly criticized when they don't get a goal or a GA automatically? They think they perform bad, i.e. Vert, Odegaard, Bruno at times. Yeah, football's gone down that route a little bit too much for my liking. I don't subscribe to the notion that stats should be ignored, but I do always say stats should be contextualized. And I think sometimes stats are actually weaponized to suit an agenda. And I find that mainly frustrating coming from content creators, because I think we should be doing a better job of just spewing out and saying, oh, well, he scored 5 goals, so that means he had a good game or good couple of games. It doesn't. Because if we watch the games, then you'll know that doesn't mean that. For example, Gakpo this season has got, I think, 1 less goal than Semenyo, but Semenyo has been far better than Gakpo. Then you look at other strikers like Ekitike and Gyökeres. I think they've got similar amount of goals in the Premier League, but Ekitike has been better than Gyökeres. So I do think attacking midfielders are harshly judged, and we're seeing that now because we've got Verts. Because we haven't, let's be real, we haven't had an attacking midfielder since Coutinho. So we're now seeing it reverse what Arsenal fans and Man United have seen with Odegaard and Bruno, respectively. I do think it's a problem, but I don't think it's a problem that's going to stop because us as fans, we're tribalistic. So we're going to use things in our armory to bring down other players from opposition. Should we do it? Probably not, but it's going to continue to happen, bro, unfortunately. A9, Cal, you doing any AFCON watch-alongs? I'm not too sure. I'd probably say no, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Chanko will be champion. I don't know. I think just because he's from Khabib's camp, look, maybe I need to see a bit more of him, but I think anyone that comes from Khabib's camp, automatically people think are going to win a world title. Now, granted, I mean, they've had Khabib, they've had Makhachev, Umar got close. Chanko, I don't think will. I think Usman Nurmagomedov might have a better chance than Chanko, if I'm going to be honest. And that's going to be interesting to see how they navigate that because I don't see Usman staying with the PFL for much longer. So we'll see. Mantis says, Cal, do me a favor. Go watch the video of the UFC put out an announcement of Aldo versus McGregor. Now all we get is a bald fraud announcing fights. Bro, Mantis, bro, it's my biggest pet peeve, or not my biggest, but one of my biggest pet peeves is just the lack of effort in promotion. It winds me up. It winds me up. It's not just that. UFC 200 when Brock Lesnar made his return. Like, we've had so many good press conferences where we had the seasonal press conferences. I know there's meant to be a seasonal press conference today, so I'll actually see what happens there if he's actually flown people in. But it just, I feel it more for the new fans. No, in fact, I don't actually. I feel it more for us, Mantis. Do you know why? Because the new fans are going to be used to him announcing things on Insta. We're not used to that. We're not in that world. We haven't come from that world. We've come from the world where a fight gets announced and then there's hype about it. Then you have a press conference and you leave it to simmer for a little bit. Then it's fight week and it just used to be money, man. But now it's laziness, isn't it? Shout out to Barovian. Says, big up, Cal. Hope you're well. Hope you're well too, bro. Question: out of these strikers, rank them in order from best to worst in their prime. Oh, bro, you brought the Avengers of strikers. Lewandowski, Haaland, Mbappe, Suarez, Kane, Aguero. In their prime. Suarez, top. Lewandowski second, Kane, Aguero, Haaland, and then Mbappe. And I'm going to caveat the last two. We don't know if we've seen them in their prime yet. And the question, because I know if Matt's in the comment section, I know he's going to get annoyed that I put Mbappe last. And I know he's going to use it against me in the future. But I want to caveat, Mbappe as a striker has only been for this is his second season. Last season at Real Madrid, and then this is a season here. He's been playing as a winger predominantly throughout his career so far. Plus, we don't know if we've seen him in his prime yet. Haaland has been an out-and-out striker and has been breaking records for fun since he's broken into professional football. I just don't think he speaks to Lewandowski, Kane, and Suarez at this stage, or Aguero. Although there is an argument to say maybe Aguero, not just yet though. I need to see what they do in their prime. Sick question though. Manti says, do you see us finishing top 5 this season? I think we're finished with this brainless manager. If we keep slot until the end of the season, I think we finish top 6, but not top 4. So we either finish 5th or 6th, in my opinion, but not top 4. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. Mickham says, I'm late and watching in high speed to catch up. Big up Cal in the chat, big up yourself. Tyson needed no coke. Yeah, I hear that. Boo Ryder says top 3 most underrated players of all time. Oh, Clarence Seedorf is one. I don't really think he gets the flowers he deserves. Seedorf. Who else have we had over the years? Maybe Radamel Falcao. Or in fact, no, I swapped Radamel Falcao for David Villa. I think when people speak about GOAT strikers, just like the question before, David Villa for me should be in that conversation. And then I'm going to say Michael Carrick. Man United fans really appreciate Michael Carrick. I know Terry, shout out to Terry Flewers. Terry Flewers really speaks highly of Michael Carrick, and rightly so. I don't think that most football fans really appreciate Michael Carrick, and I don't think he was appreciated for England. Had Michael Carrick played more for England, England might have had a better chance of winning trophies when he was playing. He was the glue that held that Man United team together at one stage, and he was brilliant. The only Chris Welch says, big up, mate. Just sub. Didn't know you had your own channel. I'm a fellow Liverpool fan. I'm tired of being, I've been tired, don't mean sleep even now. Big up yourself, Chris. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. And I know the feeling. Liam says, if I see Calvert-Lewin score tomorrow in big 2025, I'm retiring from LSC. I tell you what, I think Calvert-Lewin is probably scoring tomorrow. I think we win, but obviously I'll speak more about that in the preview on Copish, but I do think we win, but I think Calvert-Lewin does score. Manti says, speaking of percentage, I did my YouTube Wrapped, and I'm in the top 5% of viewers. I big up yourself, man. Appreciate you. Really appreciate that. Of Copish, that is. Big up yourself, man. Gargoyle says, yes, great defense for England. They didn't got any goal in the qualifying, concede any goal in the qualifying stage, and end with 22 or 32 goal gap. It was the first time ever, but I hope and wish Netherlands, because I'm a fan of them. I think everyone has a soft spot for the Netherlands. I think we did that we were speaking about it on a calling show last Friday. Everyone's got a soft spot for the Netherlands. But I just don't see them winning anything. Mickey Styles says, 2 questions. When do you think that thing on your face will actually turn into a beard? 2026 pending. And what are your thoughts of taking Salah off the wing and him being used as a second striker? I don't think we need to take him off the wing. I just think we need to play him close to the goal. Now, I know that sounds like I'm kind of contradicting myself. I think Salah operates best when he's in between the lines. I think if you play Salah as a striker or a second striker, I think it actually works against him because he doesn't find the space as much. However, if you're playing sort of in a 2-10 system, for example, then I think you get the best out of him and you have your actual fullbacks providing the width rather than him providing the width. So that's what I would do there. Ryan says, Cal, how comes you're sitting on a wooden stool and your back hurting? So, all right, so fun story. I don't know if Matt's still in the chat. I know Jamie's not as well, but I was streaming with Jamie, Matt on Big Up and Rams, Big Up Ram as well, on Big Up a couple of weeks ago. Is when I first hurt my foot, and my foot was in a protective boot and I had to have it elevated. And while I was filming, my computer chair just collapsed and broke. So that's why I'm on this chair. And to be honest, this chair's actually been all right. It's quite cushioned. You won't be able to see it. You can only see the top bit. It's actually well cushioned. So, and because of I'm moving around in my conservatory and redoing it for streaming purposes, this just works best at the moment. So, yeah. But no, it's not hurt my back at all. Big up Uncle Rods. Cal, did you go to church on Sunday? I didn't go last. Did I go last week? No, I didn't go last week. I won't be able to go this week because I'll be doing UFC, but the week after I should be there, and then around Christmas time as well. Not a bad one. Says, I'm from India. Here, cricket is more famous than football, but it's changing now. Trying to get a Copish collab from India. Channel will grow. Hit me up. DM me, man. We'll sort something out. DM me. We'll sort something out. Martin says, Cinnabon or Krispy Kreme or M&S Yumna. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Oh, all right. In order, I'll go Cinnabon, M&S Yum Nut, and then Krispy Kreme. LFCJ says, Cal, why is the beard? It is growing. Don't do that, Jay. Don't be a hater, bro. You're better than that. You're better than that, Jay. Don't be a hater, bro. The beard is growing. It might be the lighting, but the beard's growing, man. Don't be a hater, Jay. Barovian says, if you could go back, which Liverpool result would you change? Chelsea at home 13-14, Real Madrid final 17-18, Man City away 18-19, or Real Madrid final 21-22? All right, I'm going to answer this, but I'm going to cheat a little bit. 13-14, but we still sack Brendan and bring in Klopp. Because I think if Brendan had won the league, we would have probably given him an extra season or a bit longer after when we actually did sack him. So 13-14, so Gerrard could have won the league and then go Brendan Rodgers still gets sacked. When he gets sacked, we bring in Klopp and the timeline stays the same after that. My second choice would have been Man City away 18-19, because then we go invincible, we win the league and win the Champions League double, which would have just been unprecedented. Yanga says, Cal, what's your opinion on the World Cup format? It's difficult to say. I'll have to judge it when it happens, bro, because I hated the Champions League format on paper and I love it now. So I'd be a massive hypocrite if I was just like, yeah, I hate it, rip out, go back to the old. I have to wait to see it, bro, because I hated the Champions League format on paper. I absolutely love it in practice. A9, when will Matt and Drift join you for a UFC watch along on your channel? They have both joined before, to be fair. Shall I just be real with you guys? I don't even like asking Jamie and Luke to do the streams. They obviously offer, and I always accept their offer. I just wouldn't beg anyone to do it because I just know how difficult it is. Especially Matt's got kids as well. Getting up at 3 a.m. to stream it's not easy. Like, I know how hard it is for me, so I couldn't put that pressure on Matt and Drift to do that. But they also know that if they ever wanted to, let's say they're awake and they're watching it and they wanted to join the watch along, the door's always open for them to, like, wherever. Adam says, anyone see Connor and Mike together? Did you ever like Connor? Oh, McGregor was like one of my favorite fighters at one stage. It's only when he started doing the nonsense that I just went off him. But yeah, I did see the picture as well. But yeah, McGregor was the guy, man. McGregor was the guy. Liverpool real final of 2018 was a rigged match. Yeah, I hear that. Liam says Dana Insta Live is on the same level as the slot press conference. Yeah, don't get me started on that. Ryan says, Cal, we need a Coppish and Born and Red collaboration. Hey, who knows what might be happening behind the scenes? Matt's in the chat. Who knows what might be happening behind the scenes? That's all I'm saying. Liam says Haaland will be first, bro, and he isn't even in his prime. Look, I can't even argue with that. Mickey says 2 questions. Isn't it time we admit Salah is no longer the winger and now a striker? No, I still think he can play wing, depending on the tactics. If rumors are true and they're saying we want Glasner as head coach, he seems like a troublemaker. I don't agree with this. Shout out to Rich from Eagle Eye Football, Crystal Palace fan. I was actually speaking to him last night about the whole Glasner situation, and he says so many things about him that are written are so untrue. He says he's a brilliant manager. He says he loves Palace. He's been nothing but professional since he's been there. He's just a winner. He just wants to win, and he doesn't believe Parish has backed him properly. And he's spoken about that, the fact that they've got European football and Parish didn't go out and bolster the squad and give them a real chance of competing on both fronts. The fact that they're in Europe and they're still 5th in the league, 2nd best defense in the league. I'd be over the moon if we got Glasner. Just being completely honest, I'd be over the moon. Gargoyle says Mbappe is the better player from that list, although he was bad at the Euros. He's the best player probably on the list overall, but he's not the best striker. Yanga says, what has Kane done to be above Haaland and Aguero? As a striker, he's phenomenal. Creativity and finishing, both feet, heading, he's just phenomenal. Arto says, did you hear Slot's conference waffling? I've seen some of the quotes. I'll watch his press conference, obviously for content purposes, but yeah, man, I know, man. Liam says, underrated. Sturridge Carrick. Pedro is underrated. That's a shout. Scrap says, Cal's idol growing up was Garincha. That's flipping cheeky. Big up yourself, main amateur. Cal working overtime. Now, this is a staple show on a Friday now, bro. We do this on a Friday. I'm going to wrap up in a couple minutes, though, guys, only because I've got to sort out Alonso and get ready for the show at 1 p.m. as well. Did I miss a question? No, here we go. Mantis says, underappreciated fighters. Josh Koscheck, Carlos Condit, off the top of my head, but there's more. Condit, definitely. Michael Bisping. Michael would fight anyone. Joseph Benavidez. Ian McCall. Trying trying to think who else is underrated. John Fitch, not the most exciting, but Fitch. Those are probably the ones I'd say mainly stand out for me. In terms of modern day underappreciated, Kamara Usman. He's been saying a lot of silly things that annoy me recently. Kamara Usman and Tyron Woodley as well, actually. People just remember Tyron Woodley's losing streak at the end. Tyron Woodley was a beast in his prime. An absolute beast. Roy McDonald as well, people forget about. Nick Diaz as well. Shout out to Blue Rider. A9 says, Cal, who would you keep prime? Suarez and sign Salah, Firmino, and Mane, or prime Messi, but you have to sell Salah. If I've got Suarez, Firmino, Mane, and I add Messi to that, then with all due respect, I love Salah. Salah's like my top 5 favorite Liverpool players of all time. But Messi's Messi, man. I think Salah would answer Messi there. Messi's special, man. Mandy says Nick Diaz is a better fighter than Nate for sure. Just awkward personality, 100%. And they just messed him up with the ban they gave him as well. They gave him such a long ban, it just messed him up. Bizzle says, do you think Endo should get more time? If so, for who? For McAllister. And yes to that, McAllister. Pepper says, Cal, who's the biggest LFC cult hero in the time you've been watching football? Divock Origi. Divock Origi, hands down. For what he did, Divock Origi, man. Mickham 17-18, because that would have brought momentum for us in the future. I think we had good momentum anyway, bro. I think we were right. Chris says, what question that is about the result you would change? Mine is definitely 13-14. Us at school the next day. I was gutted, didn't talk to him. I was devastated after that, man. Devastated. Absolutely devastated. Barovian says, if you can pick whatever you wanted to have on your Christmas dinner plate, what you selected? White rice, plantain, dumpling, stuffing, honey garlic roast potato, duck and turkey, homemade coleslaw, a little bit of oxtail, a little bit of curry goat, a couple saltfish fritters as well. Yeah, Christmas is going to be fun. Adam says, I think we should sell Mac and get water next summer. I wouldn't be surprised if Mac moved on, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he moved on. Tway says, who do you think wins, Shakur Stevenson or Teofimo Lopez? I'm not sure. I'm going to go Shakur. Teofimo is a dog. I'm going to go with Shakur. I hope Shakur wins. I'm not a massive fan of Teofimo. But yeah. Yangus, when you cutting that pubic hair on your face, flipping cheeky. Mizzoni says, who'll be the next welterweight champ? Morales, Shavkat, or Gary? Out of those three, I'm going to say Ian Gary, only because I don't know about Shavkat's injuries. If Shavkat stays injury-free, then Shavkat. If not, then Ian Gary. I do think someone will beat Morales. Once you get past his striking, you'll beat him. You just have to be someone of a right build. Sean Brady was too small. Martin says, who's the bigger legend, Liverpool legend, Kenny or Stevie? For me, it's Stevie, but the bigger legend might actually be Kenny because he won it as a manager, as we won the league as a manager and won the league and Champions League. But maybe if we give Gerrard the interim, maybe he wins the Champions League. Who knows? Final question here. LFCJ, who do you think will leave in Jan? I think Chiesa and Endo. I think those two will leave. People, I'm going to wrap up there. It's been another episode of Quiz Cal Ask Me Anything. Really appreciate you guys, man. I really enjoy this show, man. It's one of my favorite shows of the week. I can't lie. But yeah, please do smash the like button, subscribe also, and then share this as well, please, people, so we can get more people coming on and asking more questions as well. People, Gonna see you guys at 1 p.m. over on Coppish. Love to you all. Stay safe, stay blessed. Catch you guys soon. Take care.